Welcome back. Well, today I thought we'd talk about something that's come up a couple of times recently, and that is the ads on my YouTube channel. And this isn't just my channel, obviously, it's everybody's channels out there, but since I can't speak to everybody's channels, I'm going to tell you what I know about the ads on my channel, and then you can extrapolate from there. Okay, we will be right back. Okay, YouTube ads. What do we know about them? Well, we know that YouTube tracks their customer information. They have intelligent bots that learn what channels you like to watch, what kinds of things are interesting to you, what sort of ads you are likely to pay attention to. And this is allegedly what they put forth before you. I have to tell you, I think their system is seriously flawed because I consistently get ads for St. Jude's Hospital. Now, let me start by saying I have nothing against St. Jude's Hospital. I'm sure it's a very worthy cause. It is not, however, a charity that I support. Other people do. I've got nothing against that. It's just, there are all kinds of very worthwhile charities out there that just don't happen to be my charity of choice. Doesn't mean I'm saying there's something wrong with them or they're evil or anything like that. They just don't happen to be the ones I support. St. Jude's, I don't like their ads at all. Their ads feature children with cancer. I don't like that. I'm not trying to suggest there's anybody out there who does like that. I can't imagine anybody saying, oh my goodness, if nothing else goes right for me today, can I please have a commercial showing me cancer babies? I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I'm sure there are some people that are not, as creeped out about this as I am. I am very creeped out by it. And I had nightmares at one point when they were really putting a lot of them. I was being chased down a hospital corridor. I was in a wheelchair wheeling myself along, and cancer babies were throwing arms and legs at me. It was terrible. I don't know. I'm telling you about my dreams, boy. Now, a Freudian psychologist would have so much fun with that. Whoa. But it's just, that's not my thing. And I dislike skipping past, it's like, go away. But I want it to go away. So I do skip past it and I make it go away as quickly as I can. They get there 5 seconds before I switch off to something else. And YouTube has been consistently throwing those ads at me for more than a year, and I hate them. It's beyond just I don't like them. They give me nightmares. They give me the creeps. Yes, I know there are children with cancer in this world, but thank God I don't know any of them. I feel very blessed that this is not something that's going on in my life or, in the families of people I'm close to. And forgive me for being an ostrich and wanting to hide my head in the sand, but I want to hide my head in the sand, especially when it comes to children with cancer. So I don't know how to persuade YouTube's little algorithm that I hate this. What I like is I like their ads for Masterclass. These are wonderful. I just sit there and just stare at them. It's like, wow, look, this is just Annie Leibovitz is going to tell me how to take pictures. I'm Neil Gaiman is going to tell me how he wrote, American Gods. It's like, oh, I want to watch that. And those are actually rather long ads. They're running about, I think, 2 to 3 minutes, which is kind of long for an ad. I love them. As far as I'm concerned, they're way too short. As soon as it's done, I'm like, wait, I want to know more. I don't know how to convince YouTube that this is the sort of ad I want. And the St. Jude's is the sort of ad I don't want. I get other ads about men and manly shampoos and, I think it's shampoo. Yes, men and manly shampoos out in the woods. I don't. The first couple of times it was amusing, but after the third or fourth time I watched that ad, I was really interested in moving along. So I have to say that on YouTube, I probably get the same maybe dozen or so ads just cycled through depending on what channel I watch. I'm a lot luckier than some of the viewers of this channel because people have been writing in saying they are getting ads that are running 40 some minutes or longer. Someone had said 46 minutes. That's like a movie. That really is. That's like an hour-long segment of a dramatic TV program. It's like Law and Order, 46 minutes. Yeah. My advice right across the board is if that happens, for heaven's sake, skip the ads. I will get some portion of ad revenue if you just watch it for 30 seconds. And believe me, 30 seconds is probably all you need to be able to determine whether or not this ad is running, for hours and hours. I don't even know what those ads are about. I've never gotten one of those. Apparently YouTube's bots have decided that I just don't have the attention span for it. They're probably correct. If there were a way to get nothing but great ads, that's what I would do, because I do have ads on my channel. People will sometimes say there are a lot of ad breaks. Well, I don't control that. What I do is I tell YouTube that I want to do ads, and then I tell them they can put the ads where they want to, and I give them permission. It's like, you can put ads in my videos, you can put them wherever you please. And the new thing I have done is I have allowed them to put non-skippable ads in the videos. I did this in response to the viewers who are saying, we're getting like 46-minute ads. Non-skippable ads generally run about 15 or 20 seconds because you can't skip them. So I thought, well, maybe this is a way to deal with this, because to be honest with you, it's all trial and error on my part. Is this going to work? I don't know. I'm going to try it and find out. Non-skippable ads are short. They can't stick you with a 46-minute non-skippable ad. In fact, they know that if you have a non-skippable ad and it starts to run beyond 30 seconds, you're just going to walk away anyway. So that's how those work. I'm hoping that will make an improvement. But I really don't know. If there were some way to say, no, thank you, to the 46-minute ads, I would. There are a lot of ads I would politely decline. I would certainly politely decline ads for, the tractor pull, because I'm not really sure that's my target audience. Who knows? Maybe some of you are big tractor pull fans, but I just don't think it is. But other than that, the best way to control the ads that you are seeing, not just on my channel, but on any channel, is if you don't like it, click out as soon as you can. And tell YouTube why, because usually there's a series of little dots. It's like 3 little dots, and if you click on it, it will say, why do you want to skip this ad? And you tell them I'm not interested and then move along, and it helps their bots learn what ads you like. I don't think this is a foolproof system. I imagine it's going to be very slow going, but it's better than nothing at all. And as I say, I will get the ads I get, you get the ads you get, and we can both be watching the same channel and get totally different ads because they are targeted to the viewer. So, as far as the ads go, my suggestion in a nutshell is if you don't like the ad, click out of there as fast as you can. If you find the ad tolerable and you can bear to watch it for 30 seconds, that's great. I'll get ad revenue for it. If you actually like the ad, like me in those masterclass ads, just you watch the whole thing and then you'll get more. And I find I do get a lot of masterclass ads, which is great because this is a whole new bunch of stuff I get to watch. Grammarly, that's another one. They started putting Grammarly ads out for me, and I'm not sure why. In general, I'm indifferent to it. It's not something that, would I go out and buy software to improve my writing style? No, I wouldn't. But it's not really offensive. It's not like, Bubba's beard catfish fry commercials. No offense, Bubba. But, it's not something that I'm just going to sit back and say, what made them think I would like that? No, I kind of get why they think I would like Grammarly. If you can bear 30 seconds of it, great. If you can't, skip. But let YouTube know why. And if you get proactive with your ads, you can improve the quality of what you're getting. Now, ads, ad breaks. That was the other thing I wanted to address. I have no idea. I just tell YouTube they can put in ads, and I don't know if they give the same ad breaks no matter who's watching. I don't know if that's the same as the targeted ads. I've absolutely no idea. But that's something I just leave to YouTube and hope they're responsible about it. If they are not responsible about it, I'm deeply sorry, but given the feedback I've gotten, it seems to me that for the most part they are. So, comments. That's another thing I want to get into very briefly. Someone recently asked about putting a little heart on comments, hearting comments. And they had said that, they just became inured to it. They see so many little hearts. Some channels, it's just they heart everything so it becomes meaningless. YouTube analytics do like creators, that would be me, to be engaged with viewers, that would be you. And they do this by the comments, by the number of comments and the amount of back and forth. Some creators will just, every comment that comes in, they're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's meaningless, but they do it to keep the analytics high. I respond to comments if I think they require a response. A lot of times it's just hi, Sue. It's like, that doesn't really require a response. If people ask questions, yes, but I read all of the comments. I used to do it when I was doing 3 videos a week. Remember that? Oh, one day I may get back to that. I'll get a day off. Wouldn't that be nice? But now that I'm doing 7 videos a week, and this is an everyday thing, I go through my comments right up until the next video posts. And they all post at 8 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So when the video comes up, I will follow the comments on that video through the first 24 hours, then I shift to the next video. Sometimes comments get stuck in YouTube spam filters, and I have no idea why. Perfectly innocent comments. Sometimes a comment will get caught in the spam filter because there's no space after your period. If you write a sentence, period, You don't start a new, don't put in a space before you start a new sentence. YouTube's little algorithm thinks that's a URL, as in joesmith.com, joesmith.org, joesmith.net, joesmith.us, whatever. It's that dot without spaces before or after. That tells them it could be a URL. So sometimes if you're texting quickly on your phone, YouTube just says, oh, could be a URL, and it throws it in the spam filter. I occasionally go through my spam filters, really I do. It is a grueling process because if you let it go too long, there are like hundreds of them. And then you have to go through all of them. And most of the time, I have no idea why YouTube has flagged a comment. Sometimes it makes sense to me, like that dot in between two words with no spaces. I get they think that's a URL. Other times, it's like, why? This is a perfectly innocent comment. Sometimes if a person leaves the same comment multiple times, YouTube might think it's spamming. And I've seen that before. Every now and then, if something happens, and we occasionally get some viewers who are great about this, if they notice an error, they'll post that. Whenever they see a comment about it, they will post the same response. It's like, no, that's an error. Here's what was going on. And it'll be like word for word the same. YouTube sometimes doesn't like that, and it will say that's spam. But in general, I don't know why they target things and throw them in the spam folders. I try to haul them out, but again, that's something that every couple of weeks I sit down and do it, and I do it until I just can't read them anymore, and then say, okay, I am so done with this. It's going to have to wait for another couple of weeks. Comments that I remove. I will remove nasty or unpleasant comments. It's like, if this is starting to sound like hate speech to me, it's going away. If this is something that I think would be unsettling, if our littlest viewer, remember I always said keep Evelyn in the back of your heads. You remember Evelyn, our littlest viewer. I'll show her a picture. If this is something that Evelyn, our littlest viewer, would find unsettling, it's out of here, because I want this to be a family-friendly channel. It's not children-oriented, so it's not like for children, but it's child-friendly, and I intend to keep it that way. So if there's profanity, it's going to be gone. Occasionally, there are some comments that just don't belong out there in the light of day. I recently seen comments that I wonder about the mental well-being of the people who are leaving those comments. And those are comments that I will usually remove. Right now, I'm making a point of scanning for comments like that carefully, because there are a lot of people who are feeling depressed or anxious, and I don't want any triggers. I don't want anything that's going to tip anybody even a little bit. So those will go. But I have to say, in general, those are not responsible comments. And although I would never censor people, I just don't. Say what you want to say. It's your right to have opinions that are different from mine. No problem with that at all. But just keep in mind, it's not my obligation to provide you with a forum to spread those ideas. So if I think something's going in the wrong direction, yeah, I'll take it out. And it's not something I do lightly, but it is something I do. Most YouTubers have a list of blocked commenters, people who have put comments in that are you know, so over the top. You really need to just say, okay, you don't get to put comments in anymore. I think I have about 5 people in my little block commenters list. Not very many. Most of the other YouTube content creators I know have many, many, many more. In general, I know I'm pretty cool about people being able to shoot their ideas out there. You know, in general, ideas don't hurt anyone. But as I say, right now, the wrong ideas can hurt people. So I'm going over things very, very carefully. And the reason I'm throwing this out is because I have had some strange and slightly off the wall comments lately. What is it? It's pandemic crazies. I'm sure of that. It's just, this is bringing out the best in some people. It is bringing out the worst in others. And it is my personal belief that this pandemic is starting to polarize people, mostly because we've all been on lockdown way too long, and because it's cutting along political lines. The people who are saying we need to stay home and hide under our beds until the virus goes away are on one side of the fence, and the people who are saying, no, I don't care, I'll just take it on the chin and I want to go out there and get my life back, on the other side of the fence politically. And it is polarizing is something I remember. It's something those of us who are alive in the late 60s remember, because America was very, very polarized then. I'm very sensitive to that because I remember it at the time, and I can still get caught in that mindset pretty gosh darn easily. Interesting story. This was probably about 20, 30 years ago. So I was a middle-aged woman then. I was in a store, and there was an older couple in front of me in the line. Well, there was an older man in front of me in line, and his wife came up to join him, and this is in the checkout line. And she said, oh, we have to get out because I've been shopping, and, so she was shopping from the line, basically, which is, generally speaking, considered bad manners. And her husband turned around and looked at me and said, oh, she doesn't mind. She's a good American. And I suddenly it was just like an acid flash back to the 60s. And it's like, are you suggesting that I'm not a good American if I don't like somebody cutting in front of me in the line? I was just, for some reason, that just really struck me hard. And at that moment, I realized what was going on. It was triggering back to being a young person in the 60s and having older people say, if you don't support the war, you're not a good American. It's like, whoa, I love my country. I really, really do. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with every political decision my government makes. Not by a long shot. That's one of the great things about being an American. That's why I love my country, because there are plenty of countries in the world where if you disagree with your government, well, nobody ever hears from you again. So God bless America. But that polarization is something I'm very sensitive to, and I'm seeing that all over the place now. It's getting very scary. I don't like that, because it wasn't a good place when we were there in the late 60s. It wasn't a good place when I was there in my head in that grocery store line 30 years ago. And it's not a good place now, so I'm getting a little concerned about that. But anyway, the whole pandemic is making people a little nuts. And as a consequence, some of Some of the flakier comments are coming out, and some of them are going to be removed. And I just, fair warning, there are people who are watching this channel, reading these comments, who are very mentally and emotionally fragile right now. And I'm going to do what I have to do to protect them. And if I think something's going to trigger them, it's gone. So if you find that one of your comments has been removed, I'm sorry. Don't take it personally. Just try to understand that there are people who need to be protected. So, and then when this all goes away, you can leave whatever kind of comments you want. So, let's see. Okay, I think that's about it. So how about a little, that's there. Okay, that was upside down. There we go, word origins. How about we just take a look at some of these, and I'm going back to the business section, which is really interesting. At least I think so. Cancel. A lattice of ink. The word for lattice in Latin is cancelli. In a business sense, when a clerk in the post office cancels a stamp, he makes a lattice of ink marks right across it. By the way, years ago they used to scratch it through with a pen. That was how they would cancel. Cancel is from the same source as the chancel of a church, originally the lattice division that separates the choir from the nave, now part of the church so separated. And the word chancellor, a director of chancery, finds its origin in the Latin chancellarius, usher of the law courts, who was also named because he stood ad cancellos, at the lattice. So we have all of those words that simply come from a lattice work. Chauffeur, stoked the fire. This should be good. A French word that used merely to mean a fireman or stoker that eventually goes back to the Latin calificare, to make hot. Around the year 1900, in the first days of the automobile, when it was often a steam-driven vehicle, the French gave the bantering name of chauffeur or stoker to the professional who drove the car. The term chauffeur derives from chauffeur. Oh, I see. Chauffeur, C-H-A-U-F-F-E-U-R, derives from chauffeur, C-H-A-U-F-F-E-R, without the U, to heat. And this contributed another word to English. The Old French form chauffeur, C-H-A-U-F-E-R, went into English as chauffen, C-H-A-U-F-E-N, to warm, which finally changed into our present word chafe, which used to mean to make warm by rubbing, but now is most commonly used by us in the sense of making the skin sore or sensitive by rubbing. The chafing dish is the only modern use that retains the original meaning of heat, and the chauffeur is no longer a fireman. So, all right, so we got a few words in. As I said, I'm going to show you another picture of little Evelyn because it's important that we remember our littlest subscriber, just to make sure that we have a clear sense of why the language needs to stay clean. Okay, take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay sane. Let me know your favorite words, least favorite words. If there are words that you want to know the etymology, shoot them in the comments. If there are words that you love, pop them in. Words that you hate, pop them in. Okay. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow.